There are mornings when life feels ordinary. You make your cup of coffee, the steam curling upward like a silent prayer you haven't yet spoken. The world outside your window is waking. A bird calls from the distance, the sunlight rests softly on the leaves, and yet, inside your heart, something stirs. You can't explain it, but you feel it, like a gentle nudge, a quiet whisper. Pay attention. There's something I want you to know. Maybe you've been walking through days that blur together. You've been carrying responsibilities, keeping smiles for others, but deep down you wonder, is there more? Am I missing something God is trying to tell me? And in that stillness between your thoughts, you sense it. A truth not born from human reasoning, but placed in you like a gift straight from heaven. Jesus once said in Matthew 10:26, "For there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known." That means God doesn't hide his heart from his children forever. What he places in your spirit is meant to guide you, to protect you, and to lead you toward the path he designed long before you took your first breath. The world will pull at your attention. Worries will try to drown out that quiet voice. And yes, there's an enemy who would love to fill your mind with confusion. But the secret God has whispered to you, that's something you must hold tightly, as if your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. In my own life, I've noticed that God's most life-changing messages rarely come with a trumpet blast or flashing lights. More often, they arrive like the first rays of dawn, soft, patient, persistent. They settle in your heart, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to believe. So today, as you go about the simple rhythms of your day, making breakfast, folding clothes, answering emails, remember this: God is speaking, and his words are not random. They are a sacred treasure given to you in love, meant to draw you closer to him and to remind you that you are never walking alone. Think back to the last time you felt a quiet tug in your heart, that sense you should call someone, pause before making a decision, or take a step of faith you hadn't planned. Often we brush those moments aside, assuming they're just random thoughts. But what if, in those very moments, God was leaning close, speaking in a voice only your spirit could hear? The Bible tells us in Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is more than the absence of noise. It's the posture of a heart willing to listen. In our modern world, stillness is rare. We fill our days with to-do lists, news updates, phone notifications, and endless plans. But the whisper of God doesn't compete with all that noise. Instead, it waits for us to slow down enough to notice. I remember talking to an elderly woman at church who once said, "The most important answers I've ever received didn't come when I was praying loudly. They came when I was simply sitting, quietly trusting." She had lived through seasons of deep grief and loss, but every time she felt like life had emptied her out completely, she would find, in a moment of stillness, a thought so clear and steady it could only have come from God. This is how God works. Sometimes his answer is quick and obvious, like a door that suddenly swings open. Other times, his answer grows slowly, like a seed hidden in the soil, pushing upward toward the light at just the right time. Let's be honest. Waiting is hard. We want instant solutions, clear signs, and a step-by-step plan. But God often chooses a different rhythm. Think about the sunrise. It doesn't happen all at once. The darkness doesn't instantly vanish. Instead, light inches forward bit by bit, painting the sky until it bursts into full day. That's how God's promises unfold. Little by little, he shifts the atmosphere of your life until, one day, you realize the fear has lifted, the path has cleared, and your heart feels light again. It's also important to remember that God's whisper is not always about what to do next. Sometimes it's simply about reminding you of who you are. Life can wear us down. Broken promises, disappointments, and betrayals can make us feel invisible or unworthy. But God sees you completely. He knows the battles you've fought when no one was looking. He counts every tear you've cried. And He promises not only to lift you out of hardship, but to restore what was lost, to repay what was taken, and to turn your pain into something that blesses others. I once met a man who had lost his business in a sudden economic downturn. Everything he'd worked for over decades seemed to collapse overnight. For months, he prayed for a miracle, but nothing seemed to change. Then one morning, during his quiet time, he felt a deep impression in his heart. I haven't forgotten you. I am preparing something better. That same week, an old friend unexpectedly offered him a partnership in a new venture, one that not only restored his finances, but gave him more freedom and peace than he'd ever had before. That's the kind of transformation God specializes in. His timing may feel slow to us, but it's never late. When the season is right, He can open doors no one can shut, heal wounds no human hands can reach, and turn hopeless situations into testimonies. And here's something I've learned. God's whisper isn't meant to stay locked inside. It's a seed meant to grow. But for it to grow, we must protect it. That means keeping it in prayer, feeding it with scripture, and guarding it against voices of doubt. There will be times when people, even those who mean well, may discourage you from believing what God has promised. That's when you hold on to His word like a lifeline. Jesus told us in Matthew 10:26 that nothing hidden will stay hidden forever. That means the plans God has for you, even if invisible right now, will eventually be revealed. You don't have to force them to happen. You simply need to trust the one who holds the blueprint. This is also why gratitude matters so much. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what God is already doing. It reminds you that even in seasons of waiting, blessings are still arriving, sometimes in the smallest, most unexpected ways. Maybe it's the peace you feel in the middle of chaos, the kind word from a stranger, or the strength to get through another day. Those are not accidents. They are the quiet fingerprints of God on your life. When fear and uncertainty try to take over, go back to the river of peace God offers. Imagine sitting by still waters, the kind you can hear but not rush. That's where His whisper becomes loudest. That's where you remember you are not forgotten, not abandoned, not unloved. And when you find yourself in those rocky parts of life, the uphill climbs, the storms that seem to come out of nowhere, picture Him walking beside you. Feel His strength under your steps. Trust that every single path you've walked, whether smooth or difficult, has been part of His preparation. Miracles, more often than not, don't arrive with dramatic explosions. They unfold quietly like a flower opening its petals. But if you're watching, if you're listening, you'll see them, you'll feel them, and you'll know without a doubt, this is the hand of God. So, protect the whisper, carry it close, let it shape your decisions, steady your heart, and remind you that the same God who began this journey with you will be faithful to finish it. Child of God, hear this in the stillness of your heart. He has not brought you this far only to leave you standing in uncertainty. Every step you have taken, even the ones that felt heavy and lonely, has been under His watchful eye. You are held in a love that doesn't fade when the winds rise or the path turns steep. You are never out of His sight, never beyond His reach. The same hands that shaped the mountains are the hands holding you steady right now. There will be days when the silence feels too long, when you wonder if your prayers are floating into emptiness. But remember, silence is not absence. Many of God's greatest works are crafted in the quiet. Seeds grow in the dark before they ever break through the soil. And in your life, something beautiful is already taking root. One day, perhaps when you least expect it, He will speak over you with finality. Enough. The weight you've carried, the injustice you've endured, the ache you've held, it ends here. And in that moment, You will see how he turns every loss into restoration, every tear into joy, and every closed door into an open gate toward your promised place. So be still. Trust his timing. Keep your heart soft and your spirit ready. The season you are entering is not an accident. It is a divine appointment. This is the moment to lay down your striving and lift up your trust. Let your soul rest in the truth that his plans for you are good. Not just good enough to survive, but so abundant that your heart will overflow. When you step into them, you will know it could only have been his hand that brought you here. Carry God's whisper into your daily life. Begin each morning with 5 minutes of stillness. No phone, no rush, just you and him. Write down any thought that brings peace or clarity. It may be his quiet direction. When challenges come, pause and breathe, asking, "Lord, remind me of your promise." End your day with gratitude, naming 3 blessings you noticed. This daily rhythm will keep your spirit tuned to his voice, protect the seed he planted in your heart, and help you see his hand in both the ordinary and the miraculous.